How's it going, everybody? Welcome to a brand new episode of Crypto Clout. I am your host, Faze Crypto, and today it is May 11th, 2019, and boy, is it a good day for Cardano. It's a pretty good day for the whole cryptocurrency space, and I think that this will be a pretty interesting video where we can talk about the latest and greatest updates in the cryptocurrency space. Of course, we're looking at a current market cap of 213,635, which is pretty juicy. Bitcoin dominance at 57.8%. Over half of the space now dominated by Bitcoin, and of course Bitcoin being at that 6,981, which is a pretty interesting price value. Hopefully we can go beyond that, get to that $7,000 level, and continue to make progress from then on. And of course it is pretty nice to see Cardano at that juicy 21.57%, up there with the top performers at the time of making this video. And it's a pretty interesting space, to say the least, and there's a lot of different news items, a lot of talk around the town. And of course we'll start off with we've got some interesting articles right here with Charles Hoskinson says ADA will become top coin in the market if the current momentum continues, which is pretty exciting. And I think that this is in keeping with the general sentiment that we've been expressing on this channel, where we've been following a lot of the different developments that have been happening with Cardano, paying very close attention to the founder. This quote right here definitely encapsulates key dynamic. Despite all the negativity, we have two independent groups working on the protocol while they both learn from each other. One group is ensuring that the creative side of the protocol is still intact, while the other works in a much more methodological, precise way. And pretty confident that if we keep this up and this momentum, they'll be leading cryptocurrency in the market. And I think that a lot of the work that Cardano has been putting in is certainly paying off, and we're seeing a lot of that really manifest itself in the current paradigm shift that's happening within the cryptocurrency space, which I'm very excited to see. Cardano bear morphs into raging Bitcoin BTC bull, and it's interesting to see how Cardano has been leading this momentous push forward, which is a pretty interesting way to put it. Of course, if Bitcoin could hold the $6,200 level for the next 24 hours, it would be pretty exciting to see. And of course it has, and it'll be interesting to see where things go from here. I'm definitely excited to see how the space fares up in regards to the overall where we can expect to see things going. I mean, we just look at the 1 week, and I was paying attention to some of these candlesticks, and essentially it is pretty exciting to see how even in just the past 24 hours we've been seeing pretty steady upward movement. And I'm sure anybody who's a Cardano holder is feeling pretty proud to be on the team, and I think that it's exciting to see. I mean, you don't get this kind of movement anywhere else. I mean, it's only in cryptocurrency. It's not like people are trading stocks that are going 20% in one day, or this type of stuff. I mean, but Cardano 88 to hit $20 by 2020, that's the kind of stuff that I like to see in my news headlines. Will 88 hit $20 as predicted? Well, this article goes on to say the price of Cardano 88 was bleeding out almost throughout last week. Even as the Bitcoin bull run started, the price of BTC recorded incredible gains. Cardano was recording losses against the USD, and of course this article sort of does encapsulate an interesting idea for where we could see the whole Cardano foundation evolving from this point forward, which I think is definitely an interesting one. It's definitely the story of basically the tortoise and the hare, I think, with Cardano, because a lot of other cryptocurrencies have been sort of just trying to get a product out there. Cardano, I think, has been working hard to basically build that foundation so that they can essentially have all their ducks in a row before these basically solving the problems before they arise, which I think is something that Cardano has been known for, and I think that it's definitely paying off right now. As the Cardano, all these different things. We've got Shelly on the horizon, and some very interesting things that have been happening, and I think that it definitely does sort of speak for itself at this point. I mean, I'm very happy to see how Cardano has been able to push forward and basically break a lot of the stigma as well, which is definitely something that goes a big way. And massive surge, Bitcoin near 7,000. This is an interesting article as well. Of course, Bitcoin surged yesterday, and altcoins seem to follow today. It's definitely interesting to see this sort of narrative basically flushing through the whole cryptocurrency space. And I think that people who've been believers in Cardano from the beginning are certainly cheering it on, watching how a lot of these different variables are certainly overlapping. And it's kind of a perfect storm to see a lot of these different things. And it definitely does bring me to my main point, which is the overall, the slow crawl of, cryptocurrency, and how we've been seeing a lot of these different things, making these big movements forward, which have really been pivotal. And of course, HTC, full Bitcoin node into surprise new smartphone. So, it's happening. I mean, the more and more we've been seeing, Bitcoin's up over 75% in 2019. So, if that's not a victory right there, I don't know what you would call a victory, in that same sense. We've really been seeing some pretty exciting things happening, and of course, whether or not this is enough convincing. I mean, I'm sure that there's people who are still waiting on the headline, waiting on the sidelines, for a lot of things to happen, in the regulatory space, which is understandable. But the underdog smartphone maker HTC continues to carve out territory in the largely uncharted decentralized internet, instead of competing directly against giants like Apple and Samsung that have thrived within the current internet paradigm of centralized servers and all these different things controlled by giant corporations. The smartphone maker today revealed a new smartphone that paves the way for more decentralized alternatives. So this is another sort of sign of the times. I think the more we will actually be seeing smartphones built with cryptocurrency in mind, which is definitely an interesting thing to see. And of course, Bitcoin breaking that level, and of course where we can actually see Bitcoin going in the future. I mean, it is an exciting space to be paying attention to. We're almost halfway back to the $20,000 level, and I think a lot of people haven't even realized it yet. For the most part, a lot of those bandwagon cryptocurrency speculators have certainly not gotten the hint yet, because I think it's a slow crawl. But at the same time, in cryptocurrency fashion, it does tend to happen pretty quickly. I mean, just in the time of making this video, we've seen Bitcoin break the 7,000 level again, which is pretty cool. It's definitely got me bullish, of course. But, everybody, you have to remember, you have to do your own research. I mean, it's important not to get all caught up in the hype when it comes to these things. I mean, cryptocurrency is a brand new space, and we have to basically do our own research. And, of course, remember, this video is for entertainment, educational purposes only. This video is not financial advice. But, of course, if you guys are interested in connecting with us, you could do so on our Twitter. That's at CryptoTuber on Twitter. Always interested in hearing what you guys have to say, so definitely hit us with some feedback. And of course, it's always interesting to be paying attention to these things. But yeah, I am excited to see where Cardano will be taking itself in the future. And in retrospect, I mean, it is definitely having residual effects on the whole cryptocurrency space, which I think are plainly evident. You could pretty much see how the future is unfolding right in front of our eyes, with a lot of these different things. And I think all the cryptos are sort of doing their thing. I really am confident in seeing how the future is going to unfold, around the decentralized internet and a lot of these different variables, which are, really making themselves, in the limelight. We've been seeing a lot of attention, I am I am pretty excited to see how these things are going. So yeah, make sure that you guys comment down below. Let us know what you guys think. Yeah, we'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure that you guys subscribe, and have a good one.